my friend, Maggie Horst, who I just adore. I got to know her at our beach retreat in the summer, and something pretty extraordinary happened at the beach retreat with Maggie. And so she is so sweet to have a conversation with me so y'all can learn about it, because it was quite astounding, actually. So Maggie, you have something, what do you have? You have like a gut issue that's pretty serious.
I do. So it kind of all ties in with the fact that I have Lyme disease. So everything that I experience in my day-to-day life, the reason I chose Young Living is to try to heal what's left over from Lyme disease. One of those things is, well, there's a lot of things that have completely wrecked my gut. One of those things, I can never remember the name of it, so I looked it up. It's called paralytic ileus. And I suffered for years before we actually figured out what this was. What was happening to me. So like at least once a month I was in the ER begging for morphine because I was in so much pain. And that was the only thing that could cut it. Literally just going in and getting morphine so I could survive the episode, and then being on a liquid diet for at least a week.
Oh my goodness. I mean, like that's no quality of life. I mean, number one, what a pain to have to go to the ER, to the hospital. I mean, like, who's got time for that, you know? But a liquid diet, I mean, you're way too young for that. So how long have you been dealing with this type of thing?
The stomach pain, like the really, really bad, like I believe it was these exact episodes. I believe they started when I was about 12. And so it started out, yeah. So it started out kind of gradually, and I would go to the emergency room here and there a couple times a year maybe. And then whenever I was in high school, it was quite often. It was sometimes once a month, sometimes twice a month. Like it was constantly. And these were just the episodes that I couldn't wait out at home. So I was waiting out episodes at home whenever I wasn't passing out, because the pain would get so
passing out from pain. Oh my goodness.
Awful. Yeah. And so it would just get so bad that we would just drive all the way to the emergency room all the time, and just trying to figure out my triggers and what foods were causing this, or what activities were causing this. What was I putting on my body that was causing this? And there were no answers until one day I went in and they did a CAT scan. And typically by the time they would be able to get me into the CAT scan, the episode would be mostly over. But this time they actually were able to get me in, because, you know, emergency rooms tend to take a long time.
Yeah.
So they actually got me in during the episode, and laying flat was just like the worst thing ever, but we did it, and we actually were able to see what was happening in my intestines. So I have this part at the very bottom where it basically, it's almost like it's paralyzed for a moment, and so it just kind of sags. So it's like blockage without it actually being physically blocked. So it just completely stops, and everything is affected. My entire, just like, that's why there was so much pain, because nothing was moving. That entire section just completely stopped working. So we found it. So we found out what was going on, which is so incredibly validating. Like, okay,
yeah,
I'm not
crazy. You're not crazy. Yeah.
Right. But there was still no fix for it. It was like, if it gets too bad, then come in for morphine.
Yeah. And then that's not an answer that you can live with. So, okay. So this is, how old are you now?
I'm 23.
Okay. So it's been going on for a while. Where are you now? Are you still going to the emergency room monthly, or no?
So once I started my Lyme disease treatment, all this stuff kind of got better. It never went away, but it got better. So I was very thrilled with that. So I was having these bouts maybe every 6 months max.
Okay.
And because I kind of figured out certain exertions or certain foods kind of trigger this. And so when I'm like super excited and there's a lot going on, like at the beach retreat, it kind of triggers things like this. And so I actually hadn't had an episode that bad since before pregnancy. And I think Lucy was 6 months old.
Okay.
Then.
Wow.
So
okay.
It had been quite a while.
So you were upstairs at the beach retreat at the in the house, and what happened? I just remember, I mean, you were in excruciating pain. Like, did it just come on suddenly?
Yeah, it did. So I could kind of feel something was happening, and I was like, oh my gosh, maybe I'm getting the stomach bug because I'm not used to the water or the food or something. That was my first thought. And it just kept getting worse and worse. And I was like, oh no, I
Yeah.
know this feeling. So I actually texted my husband and I was like, you might have to come get me and take me to the hospital because like I know what's happening. And I was sitting there and I was like, maybe I can make it downstairs because Lucy was sleeping. So like I can make it downstairs and see if I can get some water or something. And I could not move. Like when I tried to move, I literally could not physically stand up, like lightheaded, dizzy. I was like, okay, this is like a really bad bout. I need help. And so I started texting every number that I had. And most of you guys I had just met. So I was
Yeah.
going through Instagram. I'm like, who has their phone? Somebody come help me. So I think Rebecca and Alexis came running with oils and supplements and just started making like take
Yeah.
stuff and put oils on. And do you want me to share like
I do. Like, what was it? Because I'm not even sure I have all the details. I just remember you being miraculously changed. Like you said, this doesn't happen. This has never happened. Oh my word, I feel normal. So,
yeah.
what was it? Was it sulfurzyme? What was it?
No, so I actually didn't end up taking the sulfurzyme. I took Life 9, the probiotic.
Okay.
I took Essential Zyme 4,
Okay.
and then maybe it was sulfurzyme. No, it's not sulfurzyme. Oh, what's it? Alkaline. Alkaline. I took
Okay.
that one.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, so I sipped
yeah.
on that. Yeah.
Okay. So Essential 4 is a game changer for a lot of people.
Mhm.
So, that has enzymes that just, oh my goodness. So Essential 4 and then Life 9, that's a really powerful probiotic. And you took them together. Did you put digize on your belly button or anything?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I had tried peppermint, digize, topically and internally. I was using emotional
Yeah.
support
Yeah.
oils everywhere that I could think of. Like, how are you feeling? What are your emotions like? And we were using those. So I really believe it was a combination of
Yeah.
the entire protocol.
Was
Um,
it like gradual or instant or?
It was pretty gradual. I feel like once I started taking the supplements, things really started to get better. I wasn't really experiencing a lot of relief just with the oils. I
Yeah.
experienced a little bit, but not a lot.
Yeah.
So,
I'm sorry. I'm going to go on mute for a second. Wow. Okay. So that is what a huge blessing to have something that you can carry in your purse that if you feel an episode coming on. Do you take those regularly now or what do you do?
yeah, so I'm still working up in my ranks, obviously. So I'm budgeting carefully. So I definitely keep Essential Zyme 4 on hand for emergencies, and I take that pretty regularly. I'm on the probiotic, and I use the oils daily. So
Good.
Digize is a go-to. It's by my bed. It's in my kitchen. It's in my purse. Peppermint all the time. The next thing that I want to get is the alkaline because I don't have that yet. But I do take the sulfurzyme and obviously Minksha. That's been a game changer.
Absolutely. For us too over here. But that's great. I just was so happy that you did not have to leave and go to the emergency room.
Yeah, me too. I was worried. I was really worried. And I knew even if it passed, like I was going to be really sore and I didn't have anything to really be on a liquid diet. I didn't have any of that stuff with me that I typically would do. But after the pain went away, I wasn't sore. My stomach didn't hurt. I was eating food, like solid foods, and it was not hurting. Yeah.
Wow, that's a huge praise the Lord. So thank you so much. I don't know of anyone else who has that. I mean, Lyme, you hear of people having Lyme. I hadn't heard of this thing you're dealing with. So it was all new to me. I'm like, I don't know what to do for that. Not a clue. But I think we all learned something at the beach retreat. And so thank you. Thank you for I guess being willing to try it. I mean, of course, you didn't want to go to the emergency room, and then being willing to have a conversation so other people can, if somebody else has that same problem, can try the same.
Yeah, absolutely. That's how I've learned so much about my body is just listening to other people who have been through what I've been through and just like it kind of pushes you to try to find answers for yourself and not just settle for, okay, I'm just going to have to be injected with morphine every month. Like, nobody wants to live like that.
Not as a mommy or a child or anything. That's not an answer. So,
being as a mom, that kind of concerned me. Like, what if I do have a bout and I'm by myself with Lucy and like I can't move?
yes,
That's not safe for her. So to know that I have these tools from God that
Yeah.
I can run to and I can use and say like, okay, God, like you created this stuff like
Mhm.
naturally for my body, and I'm going to use that, and I'm going to trust that you're going to use that in my body,
Yes,
and just submitting it to him as well as taking
absolutely.
assignments.
It's such a layer of comfort and such a gift. So, well, thank you. I know that you are a busy mommy with Lucy and you have so much on your plate. And we've been trying to have this conversation for like 6 months.
I know.
It's been crazy. But anyway, we did it. So, okay. Well, y'all have a blessed day and I'll see you online.
All right, thanks.
Bye.
Bye.